Today we're going to talk about changes happening with curriculum. Many of you have heard that Word Aflame teen and youth curriculum has undergone some extensive re-engineering. It has a lot of people talking. So today we have with us Evan Zenobia, the editor of the Word Aflame teen and youth levels. He's going to talk to us and give us some information about these changes. So Evan, for somebody who has not looked at Word Aflame teen and youth in a long time, or maybe ever, what's happening and why do people need to check this out?
Well, we made some really big changes here in the last year to our Word Aflame youth and teen levels. First off, we've pulled everything out of recycle. And that means fresh material, fresh writers. We're using youth workers, we're using pastors, church planners, all of these different individuals to create relevant and important material. And along with that, we have a brand new look for Word Aflame as well, to give it more of a magazine, more of an updated feel to it.
Now, we're talking about the teen and youth levels. What's different between teen and youth?
Right, that's a very good question. On the youth level, we focus a lot on discussion. We feel this is important because you have that older age group, much more driven by discussion, usually more world views are prevalent in those age groups. Whereas on the teen level, we've created a different sort of format that interfaces tons of activities, games, things to get these students, these younger youth up and moving, to keep it more involved, create just an atmosphere of fun and enjoyment to really help them with learning.
Excellent. So what grade levels would be teen and what would be youth?
So for the teen level, we're featuring grades 7 through 9, as you can see here. And with the youth level, we are featuring grades 10 through 12.
Very good. Now, you talked earlier about a new look for the material. What happens inside that teacher's manual? What will the teacher notice that's different for current customers?
Yeah, absolutely. When we take a look at a normal lesson, if anyone is familiar with the old Word Aflame format, it usually was presented with a big wall of text, lots of narrative format. With this new format, we've looked at making all of our lessons more similar to maybe a sermon outline or something like that, that allows teachers to more easily follow point to point, insert discussion, insert activity, but ultimately with a lot of white space that allows the teacher to really shine through with their personal teaching style.
Excellent. What about the student handbook? Do we have changes there as well?
We definitely have changes within the handbook. These are going to be more similar, I would say, to the older Word Aflame, but like we mentioned before in the teacher's manual, there's a lot more white space. There's still quite a bit of fill in the blank. There are certain activities, but it's less cluttered, and we've kind of cut out the use of too much art, I would say.
All right, well, excellent. Now, the TRP, as I understand, has undergone changes as well. Tell us about the TRP, or the Teacher's Resource Packet.
Yeah, so the TRP, one of the big changes that we've made this coming quarter with the all-new Word Aflame is that we've really pulled everything together. So teen and youth no longer features different lessons and different art along with that, but instead we feature posters that are culminated and combined for the teen and youth levels.
Okay, so both teen and youth will share a single TRP.
That's correct. We've pulled them together, and so what you'll have is you'll have continuity between the teen and youth levels, especially if your church is using both of those levels. You'll see more of a connection, and you'll be able to use those resources interchangeably throughout.
So now, a church that has a teen class and a youth class, they still need to buy two TRPs or resource packets, but they'll be getting the same thing. They just have enough posters for both of those classrooms.
That's correct. With the new TRP, we really emphasized kind of class decoration and theming each month that you have for the different lessons within each quarter. And so what that'll allow you to do is possibly interchange these posters within frames around the room. Again, it's best to buy both so you have enough decorations for both classes.
Certainly. And at $17.69, enough material for 13 weeks, that's still a great deal. And of course, there are some digital resources that come with the material.
That's correct. So in the digital resource pack, we've obviously included digital copies of the teacher's manual if you need to share it with other teachers, if there's more than one leader within that class. But we've also included integrated PowerPoints that have all of your discussions. It has some activities in those, scripture references, fill-in-the-blank answers. And then we've also included discussion guides, which is a new addition to this Word Aflame. And what those will allow you to do is, again, to have more leeway with how you teach personally. If you like to drive your class with discussion and really just make it a conversation that creates that atmosphere in the classroom, then we've given you these discussion guides that will help to create that atmosphere.
Excellent. Now, we should mention for our current customers one significant change to the way you order your material, and that is that the take-home papers for the teen and youth levels have been discontinued. And for customers who are familiar with that, that was a stapled booklet of stories that students could take home and read during the week. And we have relocated some of those application activities in the student handbook. Additionally, we would recommend Devote 365, which we've collaborated with the General Youth Division to publish. And that has so many wonderful devotionals. I think that helps with that devotional component. And for $9.99, a church could buy a copy for each person in the teen and youth class and actually still, of course, come out under budget than what they would normally spend on those take-home papers. So we think that's a great way to fill that need in place of that piece.
And again, many of the personal stories and things that you would see within those take-home papers is actually included within these new teachers' manuals. So
absolutely. Okay, Evan, so for teachers out there that are getting ready to make this change for the fall quarter, they're going to get this new material in. Any parting advice you would give them in preparing for this new material that's coming?
I would say, we've provided a wealth of information and plenty of activities and discussions within these books, maybe an oversaturation of such. And so what we would like is if you could really just make this your own, zone in on the discussions that you feel are great, share your personal stories, really just let your own personal teaching style shine through, because you know your students best, and the way that you interact with them is what's going to impact them and really create a change within them, which is ultimately the goal of this Word Aflame curriculum.
Excellent. Well, we're excited about the new curriculum that's coming. We hope that you will be too. Visit www.pentecostalpublishing.com to order this great new fall curriculum. Thank you, Evan.
Thank you.